Hello, everybody, and welcome to our next instalment of Member in a Spotlight. And today I'm pleased to be joined by Chris Hickey, who in his day job is the chair of the academic board at Deakin. But today, Chris, we're talking about Benefit Geelong. How are you going?
Good, thanks, Ben. How are you going?
Very well, very well. And tell us, how did you get involved in Benefit Geelong?
I guess I got to know the regional manager of Bendigo Bank through Deakin was the first community bank. So we worked with Bendigo Bank to set up a community bank through Deakin, and there was a bit of skepticism at the start. I think, just generally thinking, oh, what are we doing here? What are we attaching ourselves to? But it didn't take long to sort of see. Be giving scholarships and young people opportunities, and older people for that matter, opportunities to study at Deakin who may otherwise have not been able to do it. So, it funded a lot of opportunity, and it continues to do that to this day. So it was a raging success. I think I got to know, as I say, the regional manager through that time, and he just approached me at some stage and said he was interested in setting up a community type bank, but under a different sort of guise. And, and what we now know as Benefit Geelong, I've sort of become involved in.
Now, Benefit Geelong sponsoring our corporate partner function this month. Now, Benefit Geelong is a not-for-profit organisation that's effectively auspiced by the Bendigo Bank to make a positive contribution in the Geelong area. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, that sums it up well. It's basically a relationship between the community and the Bendigo Bank, and it's an opportunity for the bank on the back of what activity it does allocate certain funds across to the community, and that's where Benefit Geelong comes in. So we have a pot of money that continues to grow, which we can basically give back to the community, and we support all sorts of activities, donations, grants, connections. Advocacy is the sort of work we do to try and improve the life of local residents and the opportunities that are there for activities to take place that mightn't otherwise take place.
Fantastic. Now, I know recently you've given, I think, $20,000 to the Barwon House Foundation, $10,000 to Surf in Victoria. I think the Scouts might have got a grant as well. And who's the third one? I'm forgetting. Who's the third one that got a grant recently?
So so the three grants were bereavement, Young Kids Grieve, which is really good, through the Hope Network. There's Indigenous Surfing Program, which is going to open its doors to a new cohort, which it otherwise wouldn't have been able to fund. So we've been able to support that. And the First Belmont Scouts do a lot of work on bike education, and they just had trouble moving their bikes around. So they were really keen to get hold of a trailer. They haven't been able to do it for some time and get the funding. So we were delighted to be able to fund the three projects and the work that is going to take place on the back of that funding.
Now, the not-for-profit organisation Benefit, it's got, now you and I are both on the board, obviously you're chair, but there's some fairly lofty ambitions in terms of how much money we can actually distribute to the community, which is fantastic. And the way that they do that is by current Bendigo customers signing up to the Benefit Geelong, but also new customers coming to the Bendigo Bank and indicating they'd like to be involved in Benefit Geelong as well. Now, through that program, it's still exactly the same services. There's no additional cost for those customers, but that's probably a fair way people can get involved, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get involved really on that front, really. It's just your normal banking activity. There's no expectation that you have to do anything extra. I think it's up to individuals to sort of work out what the Bendigo Bank products are. And I think, I think they're pretty good offerings and things like that. And I think that basically, on the back of that activity, they're really supporting community. And when you see funds allocated to sort of the groups we're talking about, and we're about to open a new round of funding. So, when you get in the inner sanctum and you get to see these groups applying for funding and support many of them, it's just it's a great thing to sort of know that, well, I'm just doing my banking and I'm actually assisting in the real lives of people.
Now, we'll include the website on this post. You mentioned the new new round of grants is open. How long is that going to be open for?
I think in the first round, we're going to open, in the next week or even as early as this week, and it'll be open, I think, till late November. So this first round's got an extra bit of time in it just to sort of socialise it and let people know about it, find the website, read through the information. We'll do some promotions around it. But yeah, so it's open for about 8 or 9 weeks sort of thing for people to put. And the grant process isn't overly onerous. We're not looking for, massive documentation, as long as people fit our broad criteria, as being not-for-profit and those sorts of things, and community-facing, and they've got worthy causes within our price range. Obviously, we fund around. We have limits in how much we can give out. I think at the moment with our grants max out at about 30,000 in that ballpark. So that may change over years, but that's quite a significant amount of money. So as low as 2,000 as well.
Yeah. Now there is a gifting committee that's set up so that everything's transparent and very separate from the Bendigo Bank, isn't there?
Yeah, so we've got it really. Big part of the work we've been doing, Ben, in the set lead up to this has been around the governance, and it is a gifting committee. We've got really good governance around it, so that there's no sort of declaration of interest or personal interest or gain inside it. We've got a really good criteria around how decisions are made, and as you mentioned, you and I are both on the committee, and we've got some great people on the committee. Really, really good community-facing people who really believe in the Greater Geelong area and really want to give back to it.
Fantastic. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You'll hear more from Benefit Geelong over the month as our corporate partner luncheon sponsor. But Chris Hickey, as chair of Benefit Geelong, thank you for joining us today. And it's an exciting project, and I look forward to seeing what this can do for our local community.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, it is an exciting project, and it's an exciting time. I think we're all looking forward to seeing how it, the traction it gets.